Now, when it comes to the EU Migration Pact, you take a look at the proposals that are contained within it, and I think you would agree that a lot of them sound pretty reasonable. It's things like shortening the processing time for asylum seekers so that people who are obviously fraudulent and fake can be removed. It's imposing mechanisms to deal with people coming in without valid travel papers, and all of these sorts of things that politicians like yourself and many others in the Rural Independent have been calling for years. So I suppose based on that, what is your specific objection to the EU Migration Pact?
Well, I go back to the day it was at committee. It was forced through it all here without debate, and then went to committee. And I attended the committee, and I saw now MEP elected the TD Michael McNamara tie the minister up in knots. All those things are lovely. They look good on paper, and they're promises. But when we saw there is an agreement, the name eludes me, among the European countries that they can return migrants back, and they're accepted back, and it applies to us as well. And there was 278 or something people agreed to be sent back. The countries of origin had agreed to take them back, and only 2 were sent back. So we don't have the resources. We never had them. We never were serious about it. And don't say we're going to magic them up all of a sudden now that we're going to implement the good parts that are in this migration pact. The other aspect is it gave 10 years in gestation at EU level. It was dealt with segment by segment, and huge debates around each area. We're proposing now to bring into the Dáil this evening for a 300-minute debate today and tomorrow in the Dáil and onto the Senate then. How could you possibly, all in one? This was to be done deal by the 9th of May. I and others objected profusely, and because of the heat and yourselves in the media questioning them, they buried it. They buried it for the local and European election. And lo and behold, to go back to the first business meeting after the local election last Thursday, there was on the agenda for today again. How nakedly arrogant can this government, blatantly arrogant can this government have become? We saw how we couldn't trust them with the referendum, the 2 referenda recently. They were just not trusted. They didn't release the information from the Attorney General or from departmental officials, vital information that was very pertinent to the debate. They're not giving us the Attorney General's advice or any departmental advice on this area. But as I said, we don't have the wherewithal, resources, manpower, womanpower, whatever, in the security in the state to deal with migration. They make noises in this morning to make it look good that they're going to charter flights and all. This is all pie in the sky. I've been talking to Gardaí who retired out of immigration, and the thing is laughable, and that they have no policy first of all, and then nobody to implement it. So it's closing the gates, those big gates there after all the horses have bolted, but they're trying to pack this, trying to butter it up. And the sad, ironic part about it altogether is that it has been already ratified in Europe. The 9th of May was their deadline, so the heading of it had to be changed last week because we're now speaking of something after the fact in other countries. So we have the right to opt out, like other countries have done it. Denmark, we one of them, and why didn't we? So what's our democracy come to? Rubber stamp this big migration pact that I said, even if we got the good pieces, we won't be able to implement them. They know that in here, the Taoiseach and Taoiseach and government members, and it's just playing to the gallery. But it's the deception and the distrust that they have for their own electorate now, that they do this in such a Sleevian manner, that they will hide it until after the local and European elections, is disgusting.
So it seems like the objection to the EU Migration Pact is not necessarily the plans that are contained within it. It's more the idea that we will not be able to implement those plans. That would I be right in saying that would be your perspective on it? That it's a case of saying, yeah, it will be good in theory, but we can't do that as it stands.
Like the Cure say, good in spots. No. We were also ceding our sovereignty to unelected bureaucrats who decide how many migrants we should take in this country. So we're elected to represent the people in Dáil and to make laws under our sovereign oaths. So we're ceding sovereignty there. So that's one aspect of it. There are several other aspects of it that I'm unhappy with, and I've got some limited legal advice on. But why would they give 10 years putting it together in Europe, and we can put it through in 300 minutes here in this Parliament here in the Dáil? So that is shocking. So, I mean, then, as I said, the good bits that sound good and look good, we don't have anything like the resources. We don't even have them assembled or haven't even a plan to recruit them. I'm talking about Gardaí and immigration officers and people to escort people onto planes and go with planes too. And we're tendering today for chartered planes that might be in place by December or might not. We're just a laughingstock of Europe, really. We're just saying we're like nodding donkeys. The government are here to any legislation that comes from Europe. Yes, sir. That's fine, sir. We'll do that. We're the good boys. We'll take as many as you tell us to take. We won't deport anyone we should deport. That's a mess. How many have been deported in the last number of years? I said that under 20. And then, as I said, when the agreement is there that people take them back, and reciprocal agreements, the people wasn't sent back. Even only 2 was said. The Minister for Justice was like a rabbit in the headlights. A committee with Michael McNamara and Senator McDougall, and all others of us just plotting out the line, went through committee, got through it. They're acting at the behest of Europe and other powers worldwide, not on behalf of the Irish people.
Thank you so much, Mattie. Really appreciate it.